Nice. So cool. Well, yeah. What'd you guys like of the ASU game? Utah versus ASU. What's your favorite part of that game?
Well, I like that we finally fricking threw the ball. I'm not saying we haven't this year, but uh, I like that the fact we're getting our receivers involved more. I mean, it took us like I don't know, it took us a while uh, to uh, to get them involved, but that's I'm just hoping that continues into this game. We're gonna have to play at our very best to even beat these guys. So, it's just I mean, I just really hope that we can keep throwing it to our top playmakers and hopefully come out with a W this week.
Oh yeah, no, that's for sure. I'm just glad our offense was playing well. It's like, man, I wish we were playing like this against Oregon. Like that's all.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
be nice if we were clicking like we were like this against Oregon, which I think Oregon made us better. Oregon definitely made us better. I think it made us. They looked at our weaknesses, and I think that's why we were able to come out against ASU and just like dominate. Yeah, it's 55-3, and it was just like it's funny because like the fourth quarter, basically all we did was run the ball because we're already up and we put in Nate Johnson. And it was just like all we're gonna do is run the ball. And then, I don't know if you heard Kyle Whittingham's interview. He's just
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna tell my running backs to stop running. Like,
hmm I think my favorite play though of that game was Nate Johnson with that like 75-yard touchdown or the just run down the sideline of the touchdown. Yeah, I think yeah, but I mean we should continue that should continue into this game. I don't know why he didn't play against Oregon. I don't think Nate Johnson didn't. Uh, you know, I just feel like when they're both out there, when Bryson Barnes and Nate Johnson are out there, like because they never know what to prepare for.
Mhm.
So I just think that if Nate Johnson and Bryson Barnes is out there, that they can just kind of just one goes out, one comes in, and then they just kind of feed off each other, and that's yeah, but
No, yeah, for sure.
uh,
I mean, I'm
so
Yeah, I
glad that
agree
we
with
have
him.
Bryson Barnes. I'm glad we have Bryson Barnes as our main starting quarterback. But like, it's nice to have some packages for Nate. So yeah,
Yeah. Hey, I just joined in. Sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you good.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan. Yeah. You were talking about favorite plays, like the Manir McLean catch, like near the end of the first half. I was standing right. I was like, I was in the mud, so I was standing right there. It was just a heck of a catch. Like we should get. I thought Utah should have get involved more. And then I was telling the people around me like, where was this last week? And then I guess either Oregon was that good or we just had an off game. But I think that leaned toward Oregon being very good. But so yeah.
Yeah, I think the hurry up offense with Oregon just I don't know, our defense wasn't able to get there. And like I don't know. It's just that I mean their offense is good, their defense is good. So it's like I think they're the best team in the Pac-12 right now, even though Washington's like, oh hey, we're 9-0. It's like, yeah, I don't know if you guys got that Washington versus USC game, but it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know if Washington has much of a defense, so that should be helpful because USC put
yeah.
42 points up on them. I mean, granted, USC has a good offense, but I don't know. Kind of gives me hope considering that like we we should be able to beat Washington. I hope. Like hopefully we
hmm
got some momentum, and I feel like at the same time Utah does better when we're not in the spotlight. It's like game day, brings everybody, everyone's watching, and it's just like okay, and then Utah's getting all the attention. So it's like no, we don't want that.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who got up at 4 in the morning to go to game day. I
It's a
was
game
one of
day.
those people. I was one of those
Yeah.
people.
Hey,
Wait,
way
it
to
was
be
fun. It
there.
was fun, and then the whole day was fun, and then the game started. And I was like, should we even
Yeah.
have game day come back or not? Like, it's fun to get on national TV for recruiting and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
at the same time, when the
Yeah,
game,
I just
yeah,
feel like every time we're in a spot like that for game day, I don't know what it is. This is just what drives me insane. It's the fact that all these top players, like the 5-star kids and the 4-star kids, the very top players, they always choose the obvious choice. It's always USC, Oregon, USC, Washington. It's just like I just don't get it. Like USC doesn't play defense. Like why the number one corner, or yeah, I think it was the number one corner or linebacker I was reading on Twitter a couple of days ago, committed to USC. I'm like, they do not play defense there. It's proven. That's why they fired their defensive coordinator, Alex Grinch. It's like, why
Finally,
the
right,
hell?
for them.
Well, like why the hell are these players just like? Well, I don't. I just want to go to a average defense USC team. It's just like I don't get it, man. Like we just need to get a. I'd be so happy if it was, even if it was just one 5-star, one 5-star recruit, please, just one. I don't care who it is. Just get a 5-star recruit at Utah, man. Like so.
Clark Phillips was almost a 5-star.
He was almost a 5-star, yes, and
And
that
So
those
was
are the
Lander
types.
Barton. So was Lander Barton. He was almost a 5-star as well.
Yeah, those are the types of players we need to continue to get, those blue chip players to have more success. It's just yeah. But anyways, that's my rant.
Yeah, I looked it up, but Michael Penix Jr. He was only a 3-star coming out of high school. So yeah.
Well, okay. One thing with going in with Washington here, like I think Utah we played great against ASU, but I think going into with Washington, what makes me happy is that Penix likes to stay in the pocket. Like he's not like Bo Nix. Bo Nix is like he get the ball 2 seconds, boom. Just like he'd have the ball for 2 seconds and throw it. Penix likes to sit in the pocket. That's one thing that's like, okay, we should be able to get after him. Yeah, I can scramble, but it's like I think if you get pressure on a quarterback, though, this will show you how good Penix really is. I think when you get pressure on a quarterback, which I don't think he'll be good under pressure personally, because they like throwing those deep routes, like those 50, 60-yard balls. It's like I don't know. I think as long as we stop that, I think we should be all right. What do you think, Brady?
I agree that we definitely, an aggressive defense is always a better matchup with a pocket quarterback than a mobile quarterback. I agree, but man, I think if you look at the Washington O-line, I think they've only given up 6 sacks in the past 2 seasons.
Wow.
So they're good.
Our online.
But they also haven't played us, so you never know. I just hope that we blitz a lot, but I agree with what you're saying. I would rather play a pocket quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like against Oregon, like because every time Oregon had the ball, like their O line, they guarded Jonah Ellis, Connor O'Toole, Van Fillinger so dang well that game, and then Bo Nix got out so quick, and then the receivers for Oregon got open so quick. I don't know if that's a DB issue or that's a little bit of concern going into Washington because I was watching that USC game and their receivers were making like unbelievable catches. So yeah, like I think our secondary with like Cole Bishop, Sione Vaki, Miles Battle, JT Broughton, Teo Johnson, who I'm very impressed with this year, Teo Johnson. I think he's gonna be good for the future. But yeah, still I think their receivers, you gotta get on them.
Dude, Teo Johnson finishes every tackle.
Yeah.
That guy is a beast. I love him.
Only a freshman. I was only a red shirt.
Nice. Yeah. That's I don't know. Like with Oregon, I feel like Bo Nix, it was just like the quick 2 seconds, throw it, and like is only those 5 to 10-yard passes he's making over the middle. I feel like that's how they beat us every time. They just throw a little quick 5-yard, 10-yard pass over the middle. But with Penix, he just likes to throw the deep ball. So I think if we can stop the deep ball, I feel like that's the main thing. I don't know. How else do you got? How do you think we'll beat Washington? How else do we beat Washington?
Well, I think.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think if we limit, because Rome Odunze, I mean, oh my God, I mean, out of any receiver in the Pac-12, I've been watching that kid the most outside of Utah, and that kid's insane with his catch radius and whatnot. But we need to limit him if we want any chance of beating Washington. Rome Odunze is where it's at. We need to do anything we can to stop him from scoring. And he's just a very good receiver, and we need to limit him whatever, we can do, double him, double coverage, whatever. But yeah, I just think we need to limit him. So
Yeah, and also like that's the same thing with here. Like you got to put your best DB on Roman Tuesday, so that either is Amaya Vaughn, Miles Battle, or just like some of the one of the tall DBs. And then also on offense, if you get in the red zone, you gotta score touchdowns because we did that against Arizona State, bro. But when against Oregon, where I think it was like where Junior Tafuna took the ball away from Bucky Irving, that play, like the crowd was into it, and then you were in the red zone, and we couldn't get in the end. You couldn't get in the end zone to tie the
Yeah.
game. So yeah, to stay with these type teams, you got to score touchdowns in the red zone just to stay in the game, have a chance. That's the one thing on offense.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's a key for me.
Yeah, I want to force them to play like us.
Mhm.
Get into an ugly game, get into a game where there's stops on both sides because they don't want to play that way, and somehow slow it down. I actually hope for a little bit of weather up there. I hope it's wet and slippery. Like I think that plays to our favor against them. And it also will make them. We'll see if they're able to stop the run right away playing like that. So I don't know. Ground and pound, keep the score low, and hope for the best. Do not try and get into a shootout with them, or we'll be toast.
Yeah. No, that's for
Yeah.
sure. That's one thing. I mean, just that Washington Oregon game when it was like, it was fourth quarter with like a minute left. Washington got the ball and 2 plays were in the end zone. It was like, oh my goodness, like what the heck? Like, I don't know if y'all remember that. Then Oregon had to march down the field and miss that field
Yeah.
goal. It was just like they scored in 2 plays. Like, and it's just that deep ball. I just feel like as long as we can stop that deep ball, which I think I don't know, trying to check the weather here. But yeah, if it's rainy or something up there, that's gonna actually be to our benefit. Where it's like they're not gonna want to throw the ball if it's like downpour, Yeah, Saturday's supposed to rain, looks like.
We might see a lot of running, maybe. So
there's one guy I really want. There's one guy I really want to see get more reps, and because we're so banged up at running back, I really hope he gets more playing time. It's Dijon Stanley. That kid, I mean, just on that one play, that one kickoff return, or I think it was a kickoff. It was either a punt return or kickoff return. Where the other guy threw it. Yeah, he threw it to him, and he was like 60 yards, or had like a 60-yard return. He's just a very flashy running back, and I just feel like we need to get him more reps. I know he's only a freshman, and we still got Jalen Glover and Jaquindon Jackson, but I mean, they're still pretty banged up. I mean, I just feel like, I mean, to be honest, this year Jalen Glover just really hasn't really impressed me as much as all the other guys have. I mean, Sione Vaki's probably been the most impressive out of those 3 so far. But I don't know. I just was expecting more from Jaquindon Jackson this year. So
yeah, he seems to keep getting injured or has an injury that just keeps reoccurring, that high ankle sprain or whatnot. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, at the same time, like, okay, well, I'm pretty happy overall. We're 7-2, like,
yep.
with all the injuries we've had. Rising hasn't even started a game. And it's like considering we played Florida, Baylor, UCLA, like we've done well. So it's just like, hey, doing pretty good overall. So I still think we could beat Washington, even with all everything that we've had. Definitely think Washington's a beatable team. I think it's mainly just stopping their pass. If we force them to run, we stop the pass, force them to run, game's over for them, in my opinion. It's like I don't think they can run the ball, especially against our defense. So at least that's the hope. So yeah. Question for you guys though. Unless you want to keep talking about Utah, Washington. We can go in playoff rankings. Just interested to know your top 6 playoff rankings. Who would you guys put down?
Like put down, like take out of the top 6.
No, yeah. Well, who would you have for your top 6 playoff
Well,
playoff contenders?
I me personally, I think Michigan does not deserve to be in the top 5 right now. It's just especially just with everything going on with with them right now, like this the first of all, I feel like sign stealing is such a stupid thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, because everyone, like, it's not really, because I even looked it up the other day. It's not really, it's just the way they did it, really, is what I think people are just, you know, shocked about, or, it's all over social media. It's just, I just think, I don't know, but I would remove them, and I would put Florida State at number 3. I'd put, I'd keep Ohio State at 1, Georgia at 2. Yeah, Florida State 3, and then maybe throw in like put Oregon at 4.
Yeah.
And then put then Washington and whoever else. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just that's just my take on it. It's just Michigan. I mean, I don't know, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm with Stan right there. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't seen one Michigan game. I've seen highlights, but I have not turned on the TV and saw a live Michigan game going on this year. I see their scores and updates and stuff, but yeah, I just haven't seen like live all the way through. I seen Ohio State live in some games when they played Notre Dame. I saw a little bit of Penn State when they played them, and Florida State. I have seen them a little bit. Like Georgia still at the beginning of the year, they didn't look like they had a really tough schedule at the beginning of the year, but they beat some quality teams in the SEC. So I still keep them in my top 4. But then on 5 and 6, I'm gonna go Washington and Oregon. I'm still gonna keep Washington and Oregon there. If because I know we're playing Washington this week. If they have a good game against us, then I'll probably consider them putting in my top 4. Same with Oregon, because I think they're the two right now, the two best teams in the Pac-12.
Mhm.
And yeah, unless some craziness happens, they could be the two teams playing in the championship game. Unless we see some crazy things go down the final 3 weeks, that happens. So yeah,
Cannibalism. It's what we do.
yeah, unless
Oh
some
yeah.
craziness happens.
I could see Washington losing all 3 games. Oregon could lose to USC this week, and then go lose to Oregon State or something. But then
Yeah,
Stanford could beat Oregon State. Like, I don't know, craziness could happen. So
Yeah, some guy said watch Utah beats Washington, but could lose to Arizona, or like something like that. So,
Arizona's looking good though. I will
Yeah.
say that Arizona's
Yeah.
good.
I told my friend in years past we looked at Arizona as an automatic win. Well, that's definitely not the case this year, because they're definitely the most improved team in the conference, and they're capable. They're one of those teams that could beat us. But
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
admit that if we're not ready, if we're not prepared and ready. But,
Yeah, I mean it's there at Arizona. I think we should beat them, but I think we should beat them.
it'll be
But I think
it'll
it's
be
gonna be a
like
close game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they could beat us if we're not having a good game. That's for
they
sure.
play
But,
Colorado this week. They play Dion in Colorado this week.
playing Colorado. So let's see, how is Colorado doing? Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. Yep, all
Brady.
all that terrible hype in the off season, it didn't really pay off now, did it?
Welcome to the Pac-12.
Well, they're coming with us to the Big 12 next year. I do not
I
know how that's
know.
gonna go.
Ugh.
It's gonna be more of the same. It's gonna start all over again in the off season, and it's gonna be hyped like it never was hyped before. It's gonna be the same.
Yep. Hey Brady, what's your rankings?
I'm not gonna go far away from where they just went. I mean, I don't
Okay.
really I don't see anything really outside of the top 6 that I really like, that I think belongs in there. But if Penn State didn't already have one loss and they weren't about ready to take another one this weekend, I would probably put them in there, because I think Singleton is an amazing running back. But I gotta go. I do believe OSU is better than Georgia. We'll see if that matters in the playoffs. I don't know how good Michigan is. I think they will lose to Ohio State. I like Florida State. I think better than Michigan.
Okay.
But I think I actually like Oregon better than Michigan as well. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the one loss thing is hard. And when I look at these 6 teams that are in here, Ohio State and Michigan, one of them is going to take a loss against each other.
Yeah.
You Oregon's already taken a loss. If them and Washington play in the Pac-12 championship, they're both going to have a loss. And then it's like, well, who do you put in? Do you put in two teams from the Big Ten or two teams from the Pac-12? And there's actually an argument if that happens that we've had a better conference than them this year.
Yep.
So that'll be really interesting if that happens. But I don't know. You know, the Blue Bloods are always going to get it, and OSU will always get in there no matter what. And Michigan's included in that too. So yeah, I can't really stray too far away. I do believe, like everyone said on this call, though, that I think Oregon's better than Washington. I don't care if they lost. I just think they're more balanced.
Well, no, yeah.
So,
I mean, they could kick the field goal right at halftime, could kick the field goal besides going for it on fourth down. They're in like the third quarter. I mean, yeah, they could have made that field goal at the end just to tie it, but it's like they could have won that game by at least 6 points. So at least against Washington, and just the way Oregon's been playing, like I think they're a better team than Washington. Yes, Washington won. I don't think Washington is as good as what everyone thinks they are. But as far as merit, like rankings, yeah, pretty much the same. I put Oregon ahead, maybe even put Texas Longhorns in there. But like, my worry is this: Alabama's going to win out. Alabama's going to go win out. They're going to beat Georgia in the SEC championship. So you have a one-loss SEC championship Alabama team with a one-loss Georgia team. And then, I mean, we need to go for Penn State. That's the main thing. It's like we need, if we want a Pac-12 team in there overall at all. Penn State hopefully wins, but I don't know if they will win. So it's like Michigan could win out except when they play Ohio State or something, right? And then it's just like, okay, then you have, or maybe they beat Ohio State. It wouldn't matter in reality.
I just want to see a Pac-12 team go into it. I don't care if it's Washington or Oregon. I just want to see one of them just make the playoff. You know, it's the last year to do it in the Pac-12 era. So, I mean, it'd be nice to go out with a bang, no matter if it's Washington or Oregon. One of those two teams showing out for the Pac and going into the playoffs and hopefully beat Michigan or whoever the heck they play. You know, and I just think it'd be nice to see them, you know, at least make the semifinals. So
it'd be even better to spoil it for one of them though.
I know, right? That's where I'm at too. It'd be fun. I mean, the problem is what I can see is I can see Oregon. So I can see Ohio State going, like, as far as teams eligible for the playoff: Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Washington, Oregon, Texas, and Alabama. Well, 8 of those teams could all be eligible, depending on wins and losses and everything. That's the same.
I want Alabama to lose another game.
Right. That's what they'll need to have happen, because it's like Alabama, if they're SEC championship and they're the one loss against Texas, they're getting into the playoff. Like, it's just what it is. It's terrible, but I think they would even they could probably push out an undefeated Florida State team just because they're Alabama.
Wow.
I wouldn't even be surprised.
Yeah, it's like after this weekend, like I might cheer for Oregon almost the rest of the year just so they can get in. Like, and if it's Oregon and Washington, the championship game, then whoever, like, there's a possibility like they could both have one loss. Both Oregon and Washington could have one loss, and the winner goes to the playoff, and the loser goes to another New Year's Six bowl game. That was frustrating in the 2019 championship game when Utah was in there, because if Oregon lost to Arizona State 2 weeks before the championship game, and Utah and Oregon both would have been 11-1, the winner would have gone to the playoff, the loser would have gone to the Rose Bowl.
Oh yeah,
that was so frustrating about that, because even if we did lose, we still would have gone to the Rose Bowl that year if Oregon didn't lose to ASU. That was
and I think that was also the year they still had Pac-12 South and North. I think
it was. But Oregon and Utah were the two best teams in the Pac-12 that year.
Yeah, but what always confused me though was the fact that they still had the Pac-12 North, Pac-12 South, and like they all just they didn't really pick the 2 best teams. They just kind of were like, oh, well, this team beat this team first, so this team goes to the championship. So I'm glad that they all took took that away, but
Yeah, that's
so,
what happened in 2019 as well. We could have gone playoff, and then Oregon beat us in
Yeah.
the Pac-12 championship. So it's funny now we did the same to Oregon. So and then also to USC.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's
Either
why
way, either way, if Utah made the playoff that year, we would have gotten killed by LSU that year.
oh, LSU was ridiculous
Utah
that
would
year.
have killed
Yeah,
us that year.
I mean we've been Oklahoma. What Oklahoma happened to Oklahoma against LSU that year.
Yeah, Joe Burrow probably tore up guys like Jalen Johnson, Julian
Yeah.
Blackman, those guys who are tore us up. So
Yeah. But yeah, anyway. So but for Utah, we can still make the Pac-12 championship, right?
Gotta
win
hope.
out.
yeah. If
gotta win the
if
games and
everything,
hope some other teams lose. That's all.
you know, it happened last year, and I don't have any doubt that. I mean, if there's crazy things that could happen these last 3 weeks, I mean, hopefully, like I think, who do we need again to beat who again? It's to make the championship. I think it's like USC to lose, or no, not
Like
USC.
USC needs to beat Oregon, and then Oregon State's got to lose some games because those teams have tiebreakers. They beat us. They have automatic tiebreakers over us out.
Yeah. So USC's got to beat Oregon, and Oregon State has to
Yeah, lose somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we have to win out, beat Washington, beat Arizona, beat Colorado, right? That will work. I think Oregon State needs to beat Washington. And then we need Oregon, I think, to beat Oregon State. Then we'd end up playing Oregon in the Pac-12 championship, which I would be happy with because I'd like to have a rematch against Oregon personally, just because then we
Yeah.
could actually show up.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean that's if we win out. What's funny is that we actually there's two other teams then. If USC beats Oregon, USC's still in it. Arizona's still in it, and Oregon State's still in it. So it's like,
Yeah.
or if Oregon State wins out, which is possible, they could because they got Stanford, Washington, and then Oregon. I mean, it'd be Oregon State and Washington. Then I think and then if Washington wins out or something, or Washington could still lose like a game or two. And so yeah, so we need Oregon State to lose a game, that's for sure. So definitely cheering for Stanford, and I think if USC wins, I think it'd help us as well. So if USC beats Oregon, that'd be helpful.
That also knocks Oregon out of the playoff conversation, probably. So.
As well. So I mean, it's just the cannibalism here of the Pac-12. So
and Arizona has Colorado, us next week, and then Arizona State. I think Arizona will probably beat Colorado unless some weird stuff goes on. But
yeah, we're gonna have to cheer for Coach Prime to take a couple here.
Yep, and we'll see them all over the news. Best
Yeah,
coach.
Yeah.
I even tried to cheer for Colorado last week. I even tried to cheer for Colorado last week against Oregon State, and that was just so bad. Like their offensive line cannot protect Shedeur Sanders. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's what Utah's team's gonna do.
I was kind of cheering for Colorado, but it's just so hard to cheer for them, just like USC. Yeah. It's so hard to cheer for those guys. It's just like I don't want you to win, even though I should want you to win.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I think we do need Colorado to win just because it'd get Arizona out. And we need, Stanford or Washington or Oregon to win. I think that's the thing. I think Oregon will beat Oregon State. So it's like, and it's at Autzen Stadium. So it's just like not too much of a worry. But I don't know. If we win out, but yeah, I mean.
By the way, I was just looking at my Twitter page. We just got a new punter and kicker for next season, or new kicker. Sorry, not punter.
Got a decent kicker this year. He's missed a few, but I mean, it's better than I think last 2 years or so.
Yeah,
so,
came in clutch against USC, so I'll give him that. If it wasn't for him, he would have lost to USC. So yeah.
His name's Trey Coleman. I think he's a local kid, but yeah.
Well, yeah. So I mean, if we go Pac-12 championship, who do you guys want to play for the Pac-12 championship? I guess I should say when we go. Gotta stay positive.
Oh, I mean, I really, I just think it'd be so tough to beat Oregon. I know they played us at home and we lost, but they're just stacked from top to bottom. It's just, I mean, they don't really, and they also don't have very many injuries either. So I just, I just think if we're anybody, I think, you know, maybe Washington, you know, hopefully Washington, you know, if we make it, and hopefully we do. I'd rather play Washington than Oregon. It's just because I don't know. I just yeah. So
Yeah, I'm a great golf stand. Like if we do make it, I'll probably say Washington. But let's just see what happens on Saturday. How we do against them, because because Husky Stadium they just announced their game against us is sold out, so it'll be another good crowd we're going to be playing it against. So we played in good crowds before, like the Swamp and Eugene, Oregon, and over the years. But yeah, Husky Stadium, like most of them are Seahawks fans. Like how they get loud for the Seahawks, they get loud for the Huskies. So probably same. Feel like the same energy there.
Mhm.
I'm taking Oregon. I'd like my redemption shot.
Yep.
Even though it was at home, I still feel like we'll pack Las Vegas, and I don't know, could be a completely different game second time around. I don't. It's hard to beat any team that's good that's that good twice, but I think it's really hard to beat Kyle Whittingham twice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
I did some like research like during the Patch 12 era. Like there's been like eight rematches in the Patch 12 championship game, and set like 7 out of 8 times the team that won the first game won the second game.
Hmm.
So that's just an interesting stat. I looked up like during the 8 rematches, like only been one time in the championship game history where the team that lost the first game won the team that lost the first game won.
that see that's kind of why I want to play a different team in the Pac-12
Yeah.
championship. Is
Yeah.
because I feel like yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Utah or Oregon, they're just yeah, they're just that good this year. That's why I'm really
They're
hoping
good.
they
Yeah.
slip up, you know.
Maybe let's see. They got USC and Arizona State. Arizona State. That's always a weird place to play. So they could slip up at Arizona State. Who knows? Weird things could happen. Or USC could beat them with no defense. But the USC's plan is just to score as many points as possible. And if you put more points than them, then there you go. The score could be 102 to 103. So,
Yeah.
but and then Oregon State. But I also could see Oregon State. I mean, yeah, I don't think they will, but I could see Oregon State beating them. I mean, Oregon State beat them last year. And all they did was run the ball. It was the best thing ever. I was losing my
Yeah.
mind last year watching that game. So, but yeah, no, next 3 weeks will be interesting, that's for sure. So, yeah. Anyway, it'll be fun though. You guys think Ole Miss could beat Georgia? Ole Miss has got a shot.
Oh, I really hope so.
Yeah,
I'd love to see Georgia fall, and you know, I'd, it'd be nice to see Jackson Dart, a local kid from Utah, beat
right. Corn
Georgia and
Canyon.
get, just that'd be really awesome to see. But yeah, I'm hoping that happens, but I wouldn't guarantee it though.
Gotcha. Well, any other games you guys are excited for this Saturday?
Um,
Penn State, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
The big
Oh
one.
yeah, that
Penn
Forgot
State, let's
about
go
that game.
Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State, like it's at Penn State, so and I know Penn State fans will show up for that game. They'll make it a hostile environment for Michigan. So we'll see if Michigan can survive their stadium. So we'll see.
Yeah, despite my rant about Fetterman State, I still think they should be able to beat Michigan. I just yeah, I mean everything else aside, I really hope they beat Michigan. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the one I'm looking forward to though is the Ole Miss Georgia game. I'm really hoping Ole Miss upsets Georgia.
Yeah.
Because I feel like on Pac-12 Pac-12 team would actually have a little bit better of a shot. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it would hurt their case, or maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. But yeah, so
Yep. I like even though the spread doesn't really show it, I think it'll be a good game, which is Florida State and Miami. That should be exciting too, in state. So should be really good.
mhm.
Yeah, I agree with those games there too. We have less than a minute left, it says here.
Any last thoughts, anybody?
See if we can keep it close and hope some craziness happens on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely gotta beat
Pray that we
Washington
cause
here.
some turnovers.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's
I'm
get
a-
some interceptions. Just
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna-
Arizona
I'm
State
gonna-
did.
I'm gonna make a prediction real quick before we get
Yeah.
out of here for the
Yeah.
Utah game. I'm saying 28 to 25, 28 to 27. Actually, a 1 point game, Utah.
I can see
Nice,
that.
Stanton.
What do you think, Ben? Score prediction?
I was also thinking around 20-27, maybe 31-30, just a 1 point game. I just hope we can keep it close, put up a better fight against Oregon. That's all.
Yeah. No, for sure.